welcome and blessings and giving some fierce truth to you out there, mi familia. I'm Shannon, your high priestess, survivor, wife, mother, and spiritual leader and creator of Muse Goddess Botanica. Today's episode is not a soft one. You're pretty used to that with by now with me. There is no gentle candle flicker here today. It is a full raging fire, and it's been burning at our doorstep for months and more so years now, to be real about it. But now it's uncontrollable. This fire has raged. This episode is for those who wake up feeling like there's something watching you, who are witnessing helicopters circling their neighborhoods, who feel the tension in our blood and can't quite name it until right now. We are living in a time of soft martial law, dressed in official uniforms and unmarked SUVs, masked up so we can't see them. We are in a country that has begun to weaponize fear in all of us, and fear of our own skin, our own culture, our own spirituality. And they pretend that it is for public safety. But we are not fooled, and we will not be silenced. So, with that, let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Okay. I want to first welcome you to Friday's future episode in our series of past, present, and future. Let me take you into my life. I was born in Reno, Nevada. I didn't come from wealth or power. My father's side of the family had some decent chin-chin, but nothing to be flaunted or feel like you were better than anybody over. I came from real survival. I was raised in a world of secrets, shadows, abuse, silence, but I came through all that, right? I built a home that has become rooted in spirituality, spirit, and strength. My wonderful husband, a very powerful Puerto Rican man, he is my anchor. And he is the most, in my eyes, beautiful, dark caramel skin, proud of his roots, and no stranger to conflict type man. He served in the army when he was younger, so he really, really doesn't scare easily. From the inner cities of Oakland growing up to that, you're not scaring the man. He's become an amazing aspect of what a warrior is. He also is a dirt truck driver for construction. He works 10 to 12-hour shifts, that real down dirty type work. And they're usually throughout the South Bay and on an all Hispanic crew. They all know what's happening. They see the helicopters. They see the unmarked cars. They've seen the construction worker cosplayers, the extra accidental traffic stops that have been happening. the trucks that are beginning to be searched with no cause. But my husband, he's defiant through it all. And he told me just this week, didn't fight for this country just to have it fall. And that strength that he has gives me courage, but it doesn't erase the truth that I feel in my gut or in my visions, because I am a visionary. I know when we're being spiritually stalked. I feel when the air goes still for far too long, like it has today, this Friday. And lately, it hasn't just been fear, it's been prophecy. So let's talk about the wonderful helicopters that we've been seeing. Um, it's been very hard to deal with, shall we say. In my neighborhood where I live in Hayward, California. We have, on average, helicopters flying around for, you know, the typical enforcement that they do. And it's, we're pretty used to that. But what we've been seeing in the last few days is a black military type grade helicopter flying low. And it's been for over 8 hours a day, almost every day this week. And they circle the same neighborhoods. They hover over the same places for hours. You can feel the vibration in your teeth when they're in, you're the section they're surveilling. And this is all part of that maximum enforcement campaign. And it's not about crime rates. It's about control. And meanwhile, we have what's going on in Los Angeles. 4,000 National Guard deployed and 700 active Marine soldiers standing a line. On the surface, they claim that they're there for public service. But we, the people, have been proving that that's not what it is. They're the ones wearing masks. They're the ones driving the unmarked vehicles. They're the ones detaining US citizens for minor infractions, if an infraction at all even occurred. This isn't policing, guys. This is pure intimidation. It's a slow drip of martial law conditioning the population to accept the the occupation as a normal everyday society norm. Every time my husband walks out that door, as of late, I have to tell him, please be careful. I love you. And I want to hold him for extra long time because I wonder if that'll be the day that he doesn't come home. And don't get me wrong, he's prepared. He, he, oh boy, is he prepared. He's not afraid to stand his ground. But what happens when the enemy doesn't wear a uniform? Where when they're allowed to act without any consequence, when they don't even have the name to give you as a reason for why they're talking to you or taking you. I've seen the stories of men at the gas stations, on the job sites, workers arrested on job sites, citizens detained, and not booked, just disappeared for 48 hours or more while ICE holds them, or ICE Homeland Security sorts out who they really are. This is why I light a candle at my doorway. This is why I salt our home. I've salted every window, every door. That's why I whisper my prayers to Hecate and Atabe and the Earth Mothers, because I know this isn't just physical war, this is a spiritual one. So sorry. You know, I'm also a mother. And one of the things that I can't even say I take any solace in this because my children are grown adults. But I carry this fear for them too. Because see, my children are very mixed skin Puerto Ricans. They have the Chilean blood and the strength of their ancestral roots and truly an ancestral army behind them. But in this country, they're mixed paint because they go from the darkest of dark to the lightest of light in 3 kids, paints them as a target. My son, I try to have them wear their stones, but you know, they're we've always kind of prepared them for this. And they're as stand on 10 as their father. We built sacred knowledge within them that would help them through this specific time period if it was to happen. So I do take a bit of comfort in that. So maybe what I could do is give you some of those as well. Maybe a bit of spiritual strategy and maybe a little spiritual ceremony, self ceremony you can do is, um, make your home base protected with a grid. You can do it with a candle, you can do it with crystals, you can have each person in your home build their own protection altar, making sure they're lighting them daily, speaking the names of their ancestors into the flame, letting the guides know exactly who they are that you want to honor and asking them for protection. You can do threshold protection barriers. And my favorite is a combination of sea salt, cayenne pepper, and black pepper. Um, and you can actually do like cascarilla, um, the ground up eggshell, black salt, red brick dust. If you have pieces of your home, your property that you can maybe, grind up a little in, maybe there's a little piece of concrete that fell off something, or, grab a little bit of dirt from your yard, front and back, and mix it in with that, and then create an invisible line on your doorways, your windowsills. Um, that way, if something dark tries to enter your home, that dark part of them can be left at the doorway and not allowed in. You can do sigils on your doorways. I have many sigils on my doorway. I write them in wax. Um, Great thing to have as a witch or a spiritualist is a wax pencil. They're amazing. You can get them at the beauty supply store. They use wax pencils for applique for nail gemstones, so you can get one of those. Those work really good for writing. Plus you can sharpen them. Um, Something else that you can do is getting back to the super basics of all basics, is sitting in silence in your property, on your doorway, in your back doorway, at your windows. Um, and maybe take a little time each day to just disconnect from all of the surveillance, the social media, all of them, no phones, no trackers, and just kind of go inward, communing with not only your higher self, but your spiritual army, letting them know that, you always keep that doorway open for them. So please to keep the doorway open for you. Those are the little things that you can do that will really help you in moving forward in strategy, right? And having that strategic protection up, black obsidians, all of your crystals, making sure your spirit is strapped in these streets, right? Um, so I want to talk a little bit more about what's going on present, and then that I'm seeing more in this like future. Um, and I want to bring it in with some receipts. What we know right now is that the Trump administration is attempting, excuse me, to essentially suspend habeas corpus quietly, and they did it on this executive order, Bolcaca, poca mierda. And the executive language is tied into more of like national emergency protocols versus what you know, it really is just their need in an attempt to not give anyone their day in court. Um, and then their budget bill that they're the big beautiful bill that they're trying to pass includes clauses that would grant him de facto immunity and powers beyond what a president has ever had. Again, if you don't believe me, go check out the big beautiful bill, page 555. We all know what 555 is, major change. So really check it out, really pay attention, because it's including pardoning power to himself, essentially becoming a first dictator, and the indefinite detainment powers that he wants to create through the Department of Homeland Security loopholes. So we have that. And so far, we've had only about 22 convicted or suspected cartel members that have had their charges dropped or seriously reduced their sentences so that they're eligible to be out on our streets soon. And you have to ask yourself why? Well, why? Because they paid into the political machine. We know this from leaked DOJ documents and sealed statements that are being investigated. We do have um, anomalies in the tallies of the votes that went through. I mean, we have New York questioning down ballot situations, which don't look right. I mean, it doesn't pass the smell test. Um, and in this time, Trump has begun to build an army of chaos. He has deputized a huge amount of bounty hunters to do enforcement work for ICE. Yesterday, Homeland Security said that they weren't involved in anything. ICE said that they weren't involved in anything. But yet there was a handoff of a subject from these um, unbadged, swole up, masked up looking dudes that honestly look like bounty hunters in last night in LA at the Dodger Stadium. If you look run that video back, you're gonna see a dude hella swole up, but he don't have any credentialing. You don't see anything, but he got a gun on. Bounty hunters are allowed to have a gun, and if they have their CWP, their concealed weapons permit. So, this is that army of chaos that he's creating by letting all these people loose, the releasing of all these violent offenders, defunding all of our protection agencies that would be there to help us, and truly terrorizing the public with these daily commercials on all stations, networks, radio, and then offer himself as the only one that can bring order. Like, this is textbook authoritarian strategy. This is what they're doing. This is the armed people that they say that is down in LA aren't armed. There's plenty of videos of cops setting up cinder blocks, of cops putting down batons or hammers and stuff in strategic areas, hoping that somebody will pick it up and become violent. The first night of the what they called so-called the riots, some of those fires were literally started by police. They were on video. They were caught on video doing it. And then they firebombed the the people that are supposedly the media or the press that were filming them. I mean, look at what they did to the lady reporter that was telling the truth about what was going on, the Australian woman. They shot her with one of those rubber bullets on purpose. This is authoritarian textbook shit. Next, it'll be the big ass water cannons, or even just shooting citizens, because that's where they've actually gone to so far out of their mouth that they've actually just gone to straight. Oh, well, maybe we should just shoot citizens. I mean, because we're so defiant. We don't know what's best for ourselves. And we, the people of color, spiritual people, immigrants, visionaries, we're the ones with the targets on our back. But we aren't victims. We are going to be the medicine that cures this. We are the witches, the healers, the light bearers, the death walkers, the shadow workers. We transmute our fear into action. We are the ones that will be rebuilding the society that they destroy. And it'll be out of resistance, not just protest, but ritual, in protection, in visibility, in our own shadow. So if you're hearing this, or you watching this, and it's starting to stir something up in your belly, it's because you're a part of this too. You've been tapped for a reason. You're now seeing it. And that's where we go with it. We flow. No more playing small. No more asking for permission just to fucking exist. No more waiting for somebody to come and save us. We have already saved ourselves. We're the ones with the dirt under our nails. We're the ones that have cried for days to heal, to understand, to transmute. We're the ones with the candle wax on our altars, the sacred fire of our ancestors. Every time we light sage or Palo Santo, So, sisters, brothers, we have this. We got this. It's all there. The signs are all there. Nothing is happening anymore by coincidence. And today is our summer solstice tonight. We are stepping into Cancerian energy, my energy. I'm a Cancerian. Moonchild, baby, moonchild. So happy Cancerian season. Happy, happy solstice. And again, I am Shannon. I am the voice, the reason, the insight behind Muse Goddess Botanica. Any of your spiritual needs that you need, head over to my website, check it out. We have some really great products on our site that are very magical, very much infused with some powerful, powerful entities. So come find me. Let's build together. And don't forget to protect what is yours. Always. Asheo, blessed be, Aho, and Berashones.